This episode is brought to you by Skillshare. The first 1,000 people to sign up using the link in the description will get their first 2 months free. How do we calculate which countries are the safest to live in? Well, the Global Peace Index, which decides which countries are the safest, is calculated by a number of factors. The number and duration of internal conflicts and the number of deaths from external and internal organized conflicts are all calculated. The relations with neighboring countries are also taken into account. Crime levels and the numbers of political refugees and the general political stability are factored in. The impact of terrorism and levels of political terror and the levels of violent crime, along with the likelihood of violent crime, are all weighed into this rigorous calculation. Weapons and nuclear capability, military expenditure, and the amount of armed personnel are also taken into account. So, with all these factors taken into consideration, today on the Infographics show, we take a look at the 20 safest countries to live in. The list that we're about to present shows it is generally safer to live in Europe than the rest of the world. The majority of the countries on our safe list are European, with Asia and Oceania also represented. The countries deemed safe by the statistics are usually democratic nations or well-formed republics. Scandinavia is arguably the safest region in the world, with Norway, Sweden, and Denmark all represented. Iceland and Finland are also considered safe by world standards. Although the stats for the Global Peace Index do not take employment numbers into account, employment also appears important to a country's safety. An underemployed or unemployed populace is generally more likely to resort to violent crimes such as robbery and muggings. GDP and GDP per head are also good indicators of how safe a country is, but the stats for a country's wealth are not included in the Peace Index calculations. Generally, a richer country is a safer country. Few people, besides the mentally ill or the poor, commit crimes around the world. So with the above in mind, let's move along with the list of the 20 safest countries as determined by the Global Peace Index. Number 1, and the safest country in the world, is Iceland, with a Global Peace Index of 1.095. Iceland not only has a small population density, it also has a low crime rate on a per capita basis. Despite having one gun for almost every 3 persons in the country, this country is still one of the safest countries you could ever visit or live in. Number 2 is New Zealand, with a score of 1.192 and with low levels of violent crimes. New Zealand also has a comprehensive government safety regulation program, a small sustainable population, and very little disease. New Zealand is a safe place to call home. There are no dangerous animals here, and probably the greatest danger can be found if you were to wander off into the beautiful national parks trying to relive a Lord of the Rings adventure. Number 3 is Austria, with a score of 1.274. Austria boasts one of the lowest serious crime levels in the world. For a country that welcomes 25 million visitors every year, street crime is very low. But be careful of traveling to Vienna as a European tourist, as bag snatching and robbery does take place, as it does in most tourist zones. But if you're living here and you know what to watch out for, you should be safe. Number 4 is Portugal, with a score of 1.318. Throughout history, Portugal has always been a country of emigration. During the Age of Discovery between the 15th and 18th century and the more recent period of economic downturn, the number of people leaving the country has always outnumbered the incoming immigrants. Portugal's relaxed policy on drug possession has no doubt contributed to its position as 4th safest country in the world. Number 5 is Denmark, with a score of 1.353. Traveling to Denmark is very safe business and appears on lists as one of the safest countries in the world. In general, you should be able to walk around wherever you like in the big cities without having to have your wits about you. And if you decide to make Denmark home, you'll find the people warm and welcoming. Number 6 is Canada, with a score of 1.372. Canada is listed at around 80 out of 125 in the crime index and is the second largest country in the world. However, for a country that large, their population is less than the state of California. So one of the biggest risks here for a newcomer is getting lost or isolated out in the wilderness. Number 7 is the Czech Republic, with a score of 1.381. The capital city of Prague is brimming with bohemian charm, and the cultural heritage here is second to none. One of the biggest dangers in the Czech Republic is the pounding headache acquired after sampling too many of their famous beers. This is a safe European city in which to dwell. Number 8 is Singapore, with a score of 1.382. The island state has seen a financial boom in recent years and has cast off its colonial past. Singapore also offers one of the best education systems in the region and has strict laws, including the total ban of chewing gum. Don't even think about smuggling drugs into this country if you want to remain safe and free. Number 9 is Japan, with a score of 1.391. The Japanese are a polite nation, and this is reflected in their Global Peace Index rating. Japan also has one of the lowest gun crime rates in the world and one of the highest life expectancies. This is a comprehensively safe place to live. Number 10 is Ireland, with a score of 1.393. Millions of tourists visit Ireland every year, with very few crimes or complaints reported. If you're living here, you're probably not going to become a victim of any serious crime. However, there are some danger hotspots in some of the cities, such as Belfast, that you'd want to avoid in the early days of your stay here. Number 11 is Slovenia, with a score of 1.396. Slovenia is one of the safest and most beautiful countries you could live in. Possibly the biggest danger here is stumbling into a clear and sparkling lake while staring at the beautiful alpine vista surrounding it. Number 12 is Switzerland, with a score of 1.407. A visually stunning country with beautiful landscapes and impossibly functional infrastructure, Switzerland is also very safe. Another country with a high gun ownership rate, yet low crime levels, Switzerland is one of the safest countries you could live in and is beautiful in a chocolate box kind of way. Number 13 is Australia, at a score of 1.435. Despite all those dangerous spiders, sharks, and crocodiles, Australia manages to be one of the safest places in the world to live. Who would have thought it? Well, in reality, you're far more likely to die due to the recklessness of another human being rather than a strange creepy crawly. Luckily, Australia has a pretty low population density, making it relatively safe to live here. Number 14 is Sweden, with a score of 1.502. According to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, 77% of Swedes feel safe when they walk home at night. This is better than the OECD average of 68%. Also better than the USA figure of 74% and Japan at 70%, but not quite as good as fellow Scandinavians Norway at 90%, Finland 86%, and Denmark 85%. Number 15 is Finland, with a score of 1.506. Often credited with the best schools in the world, Finland is a well-developed nation with a good feeling of safety amongst its inhabitants. Finland has the 8th highest gun ownership rates per citizen in the world, but generally, the folks here don't feel a need to go on wild shooting sprees. Number 16 is Norway, with a score of 1.519. With finances in check due to abundant natural resources, Norway is a well-developed country with both good employment and social welfare systems. Travel here is not to be considered dangerous, and if you can stand the weather, this is a great place to live. Joint number 17 are Germany and Hungary, both with a score of 1.531. Both these countries are tied in the safety stakes and welcome a large number of tourists each and every year. Both countries are safe to live and work in. Number 19 is Bhutan, with a score of 1.545. This Himalayan kingdom measures the happiness of its citizens through the Gross National Happiness Index. The previous king even claimed GNH to be more important than GDP. Travel here is monitored and safe, as you will ordinarily be part of an organized tour group. And lastly, number 20 is Mauritius, with a score of 1.458. By international standards, Mauritius is relatively safe. The island is closed to any but high-end luxury holiday makers. Much of its economy is tourism-based, and if you were to live here, you'd probably be working in some capacity in the tourist industry. You know what's better than traveling and getting to visit all these awesome countries? Making it your job. With classes from becoming a travel blogger to becoming a professional travel photographer, Skillshare has your back in helping you make your dreams come true and seeing more of this great, big, wonderful world. The first 1,000 people to sign up by visiting Skillshare.com/infographics34 or by clicking the link in the description will receive 2 months of Skillshare absolutely free. Join Skillshare and start learning today. So, what do you think about the Global Peace Index? Where's the safest and most dangerous place you've ever been to? Where would you most like to live? Let us know in the comments. Also, be sure to check out our other video called Boy Scout Who Tried to Build a Nuclear Reactor in His Backyard. Thanks for watching, and as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next time!